Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and remember, Context is Everything Media Network founder and CEO, John Michael, is watching a television show. This TV show is Twin Peaks, and this is Double R, Radical Revelations, a spiritual companion to Twin Peaks. Now, here we go. Let's just get started. There's no spoilers here. I'm just going to say that in the outset. Let's look at the minute marker here. If you've watched the show, if you just watched this episode, great. 52 minutes and 25 seconds. A really nice scene here between Bobby Briggs and Shelley Johnson in the hospital. The hospital's really bringing everybody together. You're getting caught up with everybody. This is the first episode of season 2, part 2 of that episode. Here, Bobby Briggs is told that Shelley Johnson says to him, "I love you." He says to her, "I guess I love you too." And then as he's walking away, he says, "Yeah, I guess I love you too." And it's just, you're starting to see some character development in the guy, and you're getting the next part of the story plot between them two. Carrying on, let's move. Now, so far you've known Dale Cooper to be nothing but polished and well put together. The man was shot hours before with a gun 3 times. Bulletproof vest stopped the 2 of them. But at this moment, at 54 minutes and 35 seconds, you're seeing Dale Cooper look a little bit undone. His hair is not slicked back all the way. He just looks a little bit undone. Doesn't look 100%. He even looks a little bit tired as he's listening to Big Ed's story about how he ended up marrying Nadine, who is sick, or rather in a coma, because she took too many sleeping pills. Now, this is something that I kind of wish that I was remembered that I cared about this when I started watching the show again for the 21st time. This is the 21st time I've watched the show, by the way. Harry Truman says, "Yeah," a lot. It's almost his catchphrase. I wish that I was paying attention to that, because here at 57 minutes and 20 seconds, Albert Rosenfield notes that this is his catchphrase and mocks Sheriff Truman by saying, "Yeah," before Truman gets to say it himself, which is an really unspoken slight that occurs in that scene, and it is basically unacknowledged except for the body language of Sheriff Truman. Now, as I said earlier, the hospital reminds us of stories that have occurred in the first season. It's a great synopsis for the viewer. At 59 minutes and 9 seconds, you see the Norma, Big Ed, Nadine drama. You see the, Bobby Briggs and Shelley Johnson. You see Pete and Catherine Martell. You see Agent Cooper himself. There's a lot of synopsis that goes on in the hospital in this episode. And while we're here, let's continue to talk about Major Briggs becoming a character in this show. So really around the same timestamp. I guess we're at 59, probably 60 minutes here. Bobby Briggs goes into the Double R diner and sees his father there. His father invites him over and really starts to show his character in the show, whereas before he was just a stern military man. Now he's showing his softer side, connecting with Bobby, talking about his dreams. "That was a dream I had of you, my son." Great little scene, great imagery of his dream. Watch it again. Here at 105:20, you see Hank and Bobby sharing a bit of a unverbal moment as Hank is still getting the cold shoulder from Norma, his wife, who does not love him. The cosmic echo of Hank saving Bobby's life, neither of them know that the other person was there. Bobby doesn't know that Hank was there because his back was to the window that through which Hank shot Leo Johnson. And when Hank shot Leo Johnson, he didn't see that Leo was attacking, going to kill Bobby Briggs. He thought that Leo was chopping wood inside, as he says later in this episode. And really, one of the great comedic scenes I've ever seen in anything, even though it's not that funny. What a weird thing to say. During a synopsis of the events of the crime at 1 hour and 6 minutes and 10 seconds, you see a red light. So back to the traffic light imagery. This is just during a synopsis. He's talking about what happened. This is what we know about the crime. This is them coming to a conclusion that there must have been a third man, is what is said as the red light is there. I'm not sure the significance, but that is what happened as the red light occurred. And I'm sure that not necessarily any significance, but, they use the imagery a lot. At 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 30 seconds, Harry Truman talking to Pete Martell about where's Josie. By Harry's body language, he's not buying the story that Josie left in a note. He's not buying it. You can tell by his body language, an incredulous look on his face, but you can't really see because I have stickers on the screen for copyright purposes. Watch the show again and you can see it. Harry's not buying it. But he's also more focused on Josie than the the certain missing nature of Pete's wife, Catherine. This is the first conversation rather than talking about Catherine, who's not been seen since being last seen in a blazing fire. As I mentioned earlier, one of the great comedic scenes I've ever seen in anything. When Hank Jennings is talking to the Horns. Mr. Horn, Ben and Jerry Horn. They're asking, so do you know if Catherine's dead? He says, she should be. I put her in the drying shed when the fire went up. Do you know what happened to Leo? He says, I couldn't check in. It was too busy. What was Leo doing? He was chopping wood. He was chopping wood inside? He was chopping wood inside? Yeah, Leo, is what he says. Leo, he's chopping wood inside. He was actually attempting to murder Bobby Briggs with an axe. But it would look like he was chopping wood inside if you're outside from his perspective. With heat like that, they won't even find teeth, is what they say about Catherine Martell being stuck in the drying shed during the fire. And then now that really makes me mad is a great line from Jerry Horn. It's just a great scene. So all I'm telling you is watch it again. That's all I'm saying, for goodness sake. Also, please subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Twin Peaks, Double R, Radical Revelations, a spiritual review. Context is Everything Media Network, founder and CEO John Michael. Yes. At 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 20 seconds, a poem of unsettling nature. Donna's sister is playing the piano. Donna's other sister is reading a poem about Laura Palmer, which appears to be a dream that she had accurately about the spirit of Laura Palmer interacting with her. Spooky, and certainly would be an unsettling thing to read to the parents of the recently deceased. And talking about unsettling, at 1 hour and 25 minutes on the nose, Leland Palmer is singing. And everyone's happy. He's doing a really good job. They show everybody's face comfortable, laughing, smiling. And then it starts to speed up the song. And what I take from this is music, unless it is perfectly executed, and I give the symbols, these wavy symbols, because perfect not meaning pitch and not meaning everything is to the T like to a record. If things aren't perfect in the sense of flowing, music is very unsettling if things don't flow right. I'm not saying perfect in the sense of performance. I'm saying perfect in the sense of things just flowing, If things don't flow, if they go kind of herky-jerky like this, and he has a heart attack, then things are unsettling. And it is unsettling for the viewer as well. So it appears that, as mentioned earlier with the Hank Jennings and Bobby Briggs, the cosmic echo, It looks like Audrey Horne is trying to tap into that as she is stuck in a brothel with guards and the locked door so that she can't escape. So the thing here is she's basically saying a prayer for Cooper to hear her. She's trying to make a cosmic echo. And does that happen? I don't know. But Cooper does get visited by the giant in the subsequent scene, which we'll just zip to right now. And, these are always great scenes when you see the bizarrety of this show. There's some deep wisdom here, and this is what we'll leave on today. In this bizarre moment, the giant tells Cooper it is better to listen than to talk. And in some situations, this is a deep truth. Another deep truth that he says that I'll leave you with today is at 1 hour and 30 minutes, he tells you, a path is laid one stone at a time. Please subscribe. Please like. Please have a lovely day. God bless. Goodbye. Double R, Radical Revelations, a spiritual synopsis of the show, or spiritual investigation, something like that.